Good afternoon, it's afternoon. Good afternoon, StreamYard and YouTube fans. This is Philip Reynolds. I have to say that I really enjoyed myself with Al and Chris. I'd actually like to do that live sometime where we get together and actually talk about games live, and kind of do that kind of thing live, almost like it was like watching how they do football analysis and stuff like that. Be nice to do that live, and video, stream it as opposed to uh, streaming it and us in all three different positions. As you can see by my banner, I am going to talk about some upcoming Strat projects that I have in store. And that, of course, will hinge on when I get my my new Strat game. My email address is there. It's spearprey64@gmail.com. Please subscribe and turn on for notifications. My content is meant for adults. This isn't meant to be kid friendly or family friendly. And if you listened last night, you kind of know why, because sometimes I have no say over what my guests may or may not say, so the language may not always be kid friendly or family friendly. So that's why I always have a disclaimer. That is my StreamYard link if you would happen to want to join me in this program today. No. My first project, and this is actually what I had planned for APA, but I decided to move it over to Strat when I got these cards from Chris. And what I'm going to do is I'm pitting Pete Rose versus Joe DiMaggio. This Pete Rose is 1969. And Joe DiMaggio is the 41. This is the Joe DiMaggio that had the 54 game hitting streak, I think it was 54 or 660, something like that, game hitting streak. And what I want to do is I'm going to play 20 games, 10 in Cincinnati, 10 in New York. The lineups will be the exact same. The pitchers will be the same. And I want to see, basically, is it a 50-50 split as far as the wins go or not? The second part of this project is I want to keep this going as long as one of these has a hitting streak, which means the second part of my project could be over in game 1 or game 2, but I would still do the 20 games. But if either one of these guys is having a hitting streak, as long as both these guys are in that streak, I'm going to continue the project. If not, then the project will end. But it will, regardless, be a 20 game project, just to see the which is it a 50-50, a true kind of 50-50 split. And my next project deals with the 69 cards, the 1969 season that Chris gave me. And I basically wanted to pit a few teams together. I'm pitting the New York Mets versus the St. Louis Cardinals. And this is for Jester, ID Jester, of course. Basically, it's going to be the Miracle Mets versus the Cards, is what it is. And for my next 69 matchup, and this one is for Chris, I've got Rusty Staub and Willie Stargell. And if you know anything about these players, they're both Pittsburgh players, well known for being Pittsburgh Pirates. But if you notice on this card here, Rusty Staub is a Montreal Expo. So I'm having two Pirates, but one's on the Pittsburgh team and one's on Montreal. So I figured that would be a good matchup. My third matchup, this is going to be really something interesting. This is going to be Hank Aaron versus Willie Mays. That ought to be extremely exciting. And then my final matchup is going to be Lou Piniella and the Kansas City Royals versus the 69 Detroit Tigers. And this is the year after they beat St. Louis in the World Series. So this is the 69, not the 68 Tigers. But those are the two kind of strat projects I have going on. The first one will be, a minimum of 20 games here. I say minimum because, like I said, as long as Rose and DiMaggio have hitting streaks going, this will go beyond. But as soon as one of them fails, then after 20 games, then the project will be over. So that's my first strat project. And then my second strat project will be a miscellaneous matchups with regards to the 69 season teams. And these were the first two projects for strat that I came up with. And I don't like to have I'm going to have this project or that going. I hate to have a lot of projects going on at one time, but I at least have. I need to start writing these things down because when watching Chris or ID Jester or Al Red Sox fan play some of these games, it's like you get ideas for modifications for the game. Like with Rob's Red, White, and Blue Racing, for instance, I hadn't thought of it, and then one day the thought comes to me. His 15 turn races are great, but if you ever see a lot of short track races, what they do is when they pit, and in the case of Rob's type of scenario, it would be around lap 7 or 8. What they generally do is they reverse the field, where they play half of it regular and the other half they reverse the field, and the last comes first and the first comes last. And I thought, well, that would be something great to try with the Red, White, and Blue Racing. The only exception I would make is that if cars or if a car or multiple cars gets moved to the back of the field due to like a crash, or they get just they just get moved back to the back of the field on that pit lap. They stay in the back of the pack, and the rest of the group would move to the front, so to speak. And if that meant like there were like 24 cars total, you're talking what that makes like you'd have 21 go, and then 22 would be the beginning of those three that had crashed or whatever. So with the good to see you, Utah Mike. I believe that's Utah Mike. I'm hoping I got that right. Um, when I do Strat, I kind of do Strat the way I do APA, and I play basic. I I've had a hard time trying to figure out. I have done the advanced. I'm not into super advanced, but I have done the advanced. But it's hard to remember. Oh, I'm a right-handed batter, and I'm going up against a left-handed pitcher. You know, and you know that pitcher batter combination where the batter's right-handed, the pitcher's left-handed, and you have to check the pink side for one outcome and blue on the other. It gets very kind of crazy for me. I have tried it, and I hate to say more times than not that I fail, but I could do advanced, but I'm nowhere near good enough to try super advanced yet. And I wanted to also say that after the last episode, my viewership now is up to 76. So I know people out there, they're watching me and they like what I do and that. So that's good. I should be getting Strat this week because I know that opening day was yesterday, but I don't think the sets go out until Monday. And if that's the case, I might get mine. If I were to get mine Monday, I'm not going to be able to pick it up because until Saturday at the landlord's office. So even if I get something during the week, I can't get it until Saturday because I don't get home until after 5 o'clock, and that's when the landlord place closes up is at 5. So, but yeah, I've been kind of looking at the cards that Chris gave me after last night, after the discussion, and that came up with two projects. The one I had scheduled for APA, but with Chris giving me these new cards, I figured, wow, well this is perfect. DiMaggio versus Rose is a perfect matchup. So I decided to switch it to Strat, and it's really all I have for you today. You guys take care. Know I love you. God loves you. I have to send the makers of Whoa Nelly a nice, hey, where is my game? I have not received it yet because I was supposed to receive, they should have sent it by this past Monday, I was told, and I have yet to get it. So talking. It should have been. They said it would be mailed like last Saturday or this past Monday, and I still haven't received it yet. I'm anxious to play it. It's just I haven't got it, and it's like it's just killing me. Waiting a month or more for a game, and a lot of times I'm the that's one of the things I like about the play.com people. You order a game and boom, 2 days, 3 days later, it's there. Um, yeah, and this is the first time I've really had a problem with the people kind of lagging on getting a game to me. So after I get off here, I'm going to Mr. Phone to give them a nice text message, and I'm going to call Spectrum this week because I hear of Spectrum Mobile, and I think if I can get Spectrum Mobile, uh, basically it would be like I would get like a Samsung Galaxy Note 10 and your basic Spectrum or whatever. It could cost me like $85 a month, and I'm already paying 70 anyway, so that's only $15 more. But the plus of it would be is that I would have not only would I have a phone and internet service and that, but I would have TV again. I haven't I haven't I haven't really seen a TV in over a year. I haven't been able to watch TV in over a year. So yeah, I mean, if I really want to watch a game, I have to go to my parents' house, or I'd have to go to my brother's house or my sister's house in order to watch a game. Whereas if I had Spectrum Mobile, as long as the Bengals were on, I could watch it. Or if I had it, I could watch some of the XFL games that are going to happen today. And while I've got my phone here, let's check it out. Uh, today's games, at 2 o'clock, we have the Seattle Dragons versus the Washington D.C. Defenders. That's the early game. The late game today is the L.A. Wildcats versus the Houston Roughnecks. And tomorrow we have the Tampa Bay Vipers versus the New York Guardians. And that is at 2 o'clock tomorrow. And the late game Sunday will be St. Louis Battlehawks versus the Dallas Renegades. So I'm just looking to see what the scores of the games are, and I'm interested to see YouTube video footage of how these games actually go down. Are they going to be high scoring? Or are they going to be low scoring? Just don't know. But they're about an hour and a half from kickoff for the first XFL game, so that ought to be interesting. Um, you guys take care. Know that I love you, and that's pretty much all I have to say, other than the fact that the next time I come on, I'll probably talk about my a project that I have for the app of golf, and I think I already talked about it because app app chatter Steve gave me the DC Metro courses, the course. And what I want to do is I want to basically just play the par three holes on that. And I'd have to take a look and see how many there are, but I want to take 4 golfers and play just the par threes on it and see how that goes. I'm kind of cutting this one short today because I only have like about I got the warning, you're like 8 hours from your free time is up. So yeah, so I want to save some of that for my boxing on Friday night. Because I know everybody seems to like the Glory Days boxing matchups that I do. So, and I like them myself because I never know what's going to happen. But my Friday night fights will be the second, third, and fourth Fridays of the month. The first Friday of each month will be what I'll call game chat because that's what it's going to be. I want to chat about just about the games. And next month, what I want to do is I want to get a couple of you guys to come on with me, and I want the fans to see how we set up for our like strat games or APA games or golf games. So the topic will be game setup. I just want people to see what's the pregame ritual to the game setup that you do. Because I know for me, when I do the APA and Strat, I look at baseballreference.com and see what because heck, 69, I was only 5 years old. I wasn't around in 1941. I had no clue what the Yankees lineup was. So I had to go and I like to look and see what the lineup is and make it like it was in 1941 or 1969, because and then after that the outcome is based pretty much on the dice. So but I will be my Friday night fight this week. I think I haven't looked at the cards yet. But I might I'll have to see how many winners and what the winners and losers are like. I think I have two lightweight. I know I have two lightweight winners, and I have one middleweight and one heavyweight, I think. So I might do either a middleweight or a heavyweight fight. Not positive on that, but it'll probably be a middleweight or a heavyweight fight because I already have two lightweight winners. So it should be a middleweight or a heavyweight fight, which means the fight will go a minimum of 15 rounds. So you take care, all. I love you. I'm hoping that when you roll, you get the 11s and 66s you need, or the TKO, or in case of red, white, and blue racing, I hope pedal to the metal Dave isn't behind you, because you're going to probably wind up losing the gas check if he is. I figured that out today. The odds of Rob doing what he did with David Little and having Dave pass 8 cars in a row, the odds of that happening were 5,520 to 1. Yeah, that's it. 5,520 to 1. Because basically what you're doing is it's 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 when you roll one dice. But you have to cut out the fact that you're not including the sixes and the fives in that. So you basically have to take away 30 combinations and then you multiply that, but it just wound up. I did the math on it, and basically the odds in Rob doing that again would be like 5,520 to 1. So yeah, pretty pretty interesting. Some food to leave you thinking with. Good afternoon, guys, and have a good rest of the day. Bye.